Warning, what you're about to hear may contain mature language, adult situations, and depictions of graphic violence. Listener discretion is advised.
It's time to turn up the juice, man. Daddy's got a sparkle. Howdy, 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 movie lovers. This is the Trash Heap. It's the podcast where we're out to prove once and for all there are no garbage movies, only garbage opinions. I'm Keith, as always. Elliot's not here because there's only room enough for one man beast on this show, and I brought him back. You might know him from knee-jerk reactions to some recent trailers. Here he is, 7 feet tall, 500 pounds, made of indestructible animal hide. He is the Rhino, but you can call him Anthony.
Heyo. What's going on?
Such a ferocious greeting for
because I'm ready for this. Because I'm ready for this. All right, these 7 feet, 500 pounds are ready to go.
Well, I had to have you back to talk about Halloween Kills. That was one of the trailer reactions we did, and it looked probably the most promising out of all the trailers we watched. And now it's out. It's been out for a week. I've seen it twice. And I did not go to the theater, unfortunately. I don't know if that would have made a difference. That's kind of my first thought, is I don't know if it would have been a different experience. It might have been cool to watch it with some other people, because it was definitely a roller coaster and had some genuine thrills, but I don't know if it would have made it, if I would have left more satisfied or enjoyed it more if I was in the theater, but who knows?
I don't think.
I mean, do you prefer to see movies in the theater? Like, is that?
Oh, I mean, yes, of course. I'd rather see it with people because then, yeah, you get the whole the energy.
Like any type of movie, or it's just specific types of movies?
Man, I used to, dude, I grew up going to the theaters. I mean, I probably like everybody else, but like my parents, every Sunday we'd go to the theaters. So
every Sunday, holy shit.
Oh yeah, we'd go every Sunday, and we had a small little theater by our house and they showed premium movies, but it was small. And yeah, we'd go every Sunday.
That rules. I don't think you know how lucky you are. Like that. That's like the perfect. That's almost as perfect as like going to a drive-in.
No. Oh, and we used to go to the drive-in all the fucking time too. It was great.
We have like 5 or 6 drive-ins in this state.
I just went to the closest one we have here, and that was pretty awesome. We saw. Oh my god, we saw Baby Boss 2. Yeah. It was awesome, but I got a new car, and I found out that night that the interior lights do not turn off when you have the back open.
Oh.
So we were like the only ones in the whole fucking parking lot with the lights on, and it was like, I felt like we just couldn't turn them off. I felt like an idiot.
Light?
The whole interior lights up. It's like
everything.
Brand new car light. Yeah, everything just lights up, And that's pretty much what we sat on. It was very embarrassing.
I'm surprised that didn't end with you being like, and then when the movie was over, the car wouldn't start.
I had to turn it on. Like I would turn it on every like 45 minutes.
Oh, just to like charge the alternator.
Just to see it turn on. Just to go, okay, it turns on. Oh yeah, and it was a whole thing. It was so embarrassing. But it was a drive-in. I haven't been in a drive-in forever, and my kids were never been to drive-in. That was our first time, so I was like, no, we're doing it.
Dude, that rules.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I've been keeping my eye on some of those because they do play some play older movies like Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands and stuff like that, and then other ones like they're actually playing like brand new movies.
This one was playing brand new movies, and it was playing it was a double feature.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it would play a kid movie in the beginning, and then the next one would be not a kid movie.
Like a porno, like a dirty movie.
Just like a big portal screen. So all of you and all the audience can watch it.
Yep. Oh,
hi.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite scenes from the Monster Squad is when the leader kid.
Yeah,
He's sitting on the roof of his house
on
with
this
his
roof of
dad
yeah.
eating a cheezeburger and watching the drive-in from like 20
And they're
miles
watching like a
away.
horror, like an old school horror movie, I think,
Yeah,
too.
that's
Yeah, yeah.
super
No, it's
sick.
amazing. Yeah, yeah. There's another movie where they do that. That's awesome. Oh, no, I think it was a baseball field. There's an actual baseball field where there's apartments and people just sit in their apartments and look at the baseball game.
Oh yeah.
That'd be cool if you like baseball like
Yeah, if you're into that. If not, then it's a
right. If not,
living
you're like,
hell.
fuck, god damn it. But no, but when I growing up though, dude, you don't understand. I know how lucky I was because growing up, we also had a black box. Do
Oh
you know what a
yeah,
black
you're
box is?
stealing
Yes.
cable.
Oh yes, and this is before like the cable company can check things now. I mean, sure, I'm sure now they're just like click, click, click. Oh, this guy's doing this. So we got every channel, and I mean every channel, and I would sit there and watch him. Nobody would ever referee me what I'm
Wow.
watching. I mean, my parents would. We own their own business, so they'd wake up early, come home, go to sleep, and I'd be watching anything I want. So I watched everything. So it was awesome. HBO, everything. It was great.
At least you
So
could
I do
enjoy the
know.
fruits of their labor. You know, they worked hard so that you could have that cushy lifestyle.
Yes, and I knew what was going on. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I have like everything at my fingertips. Like, oh, I'm watching everything, and I loved it. Oh yeah, I think that's why for me, it's hard for me to sit down and watch a movie now because I've seen so
You've seen
much,
it all. There's
and
nothing
it's and
left.
it's and it's almost like the big one that got me was Stranger Things when they were like, oh, it's like, what did they say, like Goonies and Ghostbusters. I was like, oh, so it's like everything I grew up with. Like, I don't care to watch that, and I haven't watched it, and don't care to watch it. But like,
See, I thought that too. I
are
watched
you
like
telling me to watch it?
yeah, that's the thing though, is I watched the first couple episodes and I was like rolling my eyes at all the references. I was like, okay, guys, I get it. The 80s were cool. Like, relax. Like, I get tired of that shit real quick. But if you stay on board with the show, it's good. It's a good show and it's well made and it's got a lot of heart and it's a lot of fun and it's more than just that. So
Okay. Well, and all right, I'll have to give it a try.
I was
Maybe
even
maybe
impressed with.
maybe we'll have to review that when I'll watch a couple of them. We'll have to talk about it
Oh
because
man, that'd be
yeah.
sick. Because I think the new season comes out in like December.
Oh, maybe I should watch the first. I'll start watching the first season then. Okay, maybe I'll
Yeah,
do that.
now would be a good time. Same with Cobra Kai, man. New season of Cobra
I've yet
Kai.
to see that either. All
Well,
right, well
it's the
let's
same
talk
thing
about
that
a
happens
shit.
every time, like going down the rabbit hole of nostalgia. Just talking about,
Well,
oh,
and
remember when they did this? That was so sick.
well, you know what? Anything better than this stupid movie? You know this dude. Okay. Let's start. Let's start.
Well, what did you think of? In fact, let's go all the way to the beginning. You've seen all the Halloween movies, right? You've seen the
Yes.
original
Yes.
1 through 6, and then H2O and Resurrection and all that stuff, right?
Yes.
And which ones do you like? What are your favorites?
The originals. 1, 2, 3 was. I like 3, but I get it. Um, the originals were so good.
Yeah, what about like 4, 5, and 6?
Those movies, you know what? If I watched them, I wasn't checked into them. It was
Oh,
whatever.
interesting. You should go back.
I didn't like. I mean, and that's something I would like. Watching this one because the first one, the new first one or whatever, was so good and was such a good build. And there's going to be Halloween dies, right? Is that the next
Halloween
one?
ends.
Halloween ends. Knowing that, I was like, oh, this slow middle burn, and then the next one, and and I'm hoping that the next one is man.
It might look different when you get the trilogy all together because yeah, it was
Yes,
planned out. But I agree with you. I think Halloween 2018 was really good.
it
It
was really good.
it focused on Laurie's story while introducing, the rest of her family as new characters. You got the new sheriff, Hawkins, as a character, but nobody was really like so much of a focus. This was really like it was really about like Laurie and Michael, and Michael's whole deal was interesting. At no point did I give a shit how he got captured. I was like, holy shit, He's in this crazy mental institution with all these other wild patients, and it's terrifying. And this is great. And then he escapes, and then the whole kind of thing just kicks off, and he's slinking through the shadows. He's like a ghost, but he's also doing some very brutal stuff, stepping on people's
He's doing
heads,
his thing,
killing
man.
people with hammers. So it was a good mix, but it had a lot of atmosphere and suspense, and it breathed, right? There's a lot of room to breathe and like sit with these moments, and there's a lot of things that are memorable.
Which is what the first one, which I thought like the first one was very. It was. I feel like that when they did the first one, I mean, they didn't know what they were doing, so it works because I don't know. It made it way more suspenseful, and I understand, and I get, and I get when this one started, it's still the same night. So I guess I'm still looking for that because once I saw her in the truck and she's like bleeding out and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, like yeah, this is all this is what was happening. So I got back into it really quickly, and then like it was like man, it was like they went back to making not a not a good progressive movie. It went back to the old stuff that I mean, it wasn't even as good as the old stuff.
Yeah, I can tell you unequivocally, there has never been a Halloween movie like this. With the sheer, I think it has the most kills of any Halloween movie in the series, and it's not even close.
This one has the most?
Yep, 100%.
Really?
Even like 4, 5, and 6, which were kind of the more modern ones, and
Yeah,
were like
yeah.
they were like closer to just like a generic slasher. But yeah, they didn't even have. I mean, maybe 4 is
Because
like
what's
second
the
place
one?
because he kills like all the cops at the police station off screen, but it's still not even close.
Man, and you know what? I don't know what I can't put on this, but it's just his the whole like he's going home, okay? Him going home. And I
I remember at one point I was sitting there watching it, and to this movie's credit, I felt like it was exciting, and I was pretty juiced up to see what was going to happen next.
so was I.
And there was at one point though, like he had killed so many people for seemingly no reason that at one point I shouted at the TV. I was like, "Where the fuck are you going?"
And you know what? It's fine that he's just gonna kill for no reason. I mean,
Well, that's the
he's
thing, though. That's the really interesting part that I'm really looking forward to is, and they sort of blew this in the original series, right? In when Resurrection came about, he was done, right? At the beginning of Halloween Resurrection, he kills Laurie, and then he goes home. And they could have
and
been like, "Here's something interesting. What does he do when there's nobody left to kill?" And the big reveal in that was that he had just been living in the sewer, like eating rats. And then the people show up to make their reality show, and he's like, "Get out of my house! I'm gonna kill all you guys," and
uh,
that's it. But then in Halloween Kills, it becomes he's killed so many people to get here. Well, now what is he gonna do? Now that it's he's killed like half the town. So what's gonna happen in the next movie when he's pretty much done with?
so and that's what. So when he kills Little John and Big John, which I thought that maybe that was the best part of the movie. I don't even know why, but they were just entertaining to watch. Maybe because I thought it was Stewie from Mad TV, so I was like, yeah.
I thought
But
they were fun, and I agree with you. They set up earlier the little prank with those kids and the candy, and they did
yeah,
the gag where they were like, "Did someone just go inside our house?" And I love that because it's like that's one of those moments that like if you're alone or you live in the suburbs, like you've had that moment where you're like,
yes, this is
"Wait a
fucking scary.
second,
Is
did the door
someone
just
running in
blow
your
closed, or
house?
is there
Yeah,
someone in there?" But
that
then when
freaks me
Michael's
out.
actually in there, they're like, "There's somebody in our house." And so, what Big John, he grabs a knife, and then Little John grabs a knife and
Grabs a
they
knife.
lock the door,
And he
then they
locks the
start
door
going
as he
upstairs.
walks upstairs. Yep.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
and that's
wild.
the scene. That's what I see, and that's what I don't. I guess maybe what I didn't like. The director would set up these cool little like, oh, that's cool, and then do nothing with it. Like the beginning, the lady with the little the not the hovercraft. What that was called, the drone. Oh, cool. She's playing with a drone. That's interesting. Is this drone gonna come into play somewhere? That'd be kind of cool. No, it doesn't.
Oh, I have a question
Um,
about that drone.
what?
Real quick though, the Johns. I was hoping they would
Oh,
get.
okay, well, when that guess that was well, hold on, and that was my point. So when they grabbed the knives, they locked the door. I was like, oh shit, these guys are into some crazy shit, or like these guys are, they know some. It was nothing. It led to nothing. It led to Homeboy just going, "Hey, you're home." That was
Yeah.
it. Like
Well,
it
when
was like we need this scene. So how do we get there? Well, I can say it. Cool, let's do it. Like it
when
was.
he said that line, it made me think that he was more significant, right? I was like, oh wait, is he someone important? Is there a specific reason maybe that
Sure,
they
that
bought
would have been cool.
Michael Myers' childhood home?
That would have been cool. Oh my god! And even that didn't even cross my mind. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this it felt more important, but maybe it is, who knows? Maybe we're gonna find out in the next one, like maybe
Well,
they'll
he's
circle
dead though.
back
He
to it.
dies though, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I was gonna say he's dead. So that would be awesome if you hear someone here in that movie. Have they made that movie? Have they made the new one?
Um,
Maybe not. Do that.
I'm not
What
sure.
Keith just said.
Yeah,
Do
do
that.
it,
Do
David
that.
Gordon
Make it
Green. Are
weird
you
where that house
listening?
was bought for a reason, and under the house there's like a cult, and they're ready for it. So okay. So and that's the thing too. So for me, that's why when like you say when he gets to the house and it's like bam bam bam, and that's it. To me, I was like, oh, this is just the middle of a movie. So this 3-part movie is one movie that they just split 3 ways.
Yeah, I mean that's why they kept. It's like wrestling
And then they kill
logic,
what's
right?
her
They
name?
kept Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant from touching each other until the main event. So Laurie and Michael were apart the entire movie, and they're not going to touch again until the final round.
Oh, that bothered the shit out of me too. She's gonna sit in a hospital the whole movie. Come on.
I
And
was
and
actually.
then the love story. Oh, come on, dude.
I don't
We
know
don't
about a
need any
love
of
story.
that. Hey, dude, I love you. Well, no, she says something, and
She
she
didn't
thinks
say
he's like
that.
passed out. Yeah, she says something like, "I've always liked you," and he goes, "Oh yeah," and she's, "Oh, you stupid, you're up. You hear what I
She's
said,
scared he's gonna die.
dude."
He also they
Hey,
clearly
cool.
were
We
hinting
don't
at like when she
we don't
was
need
in
that.
the throes of her alcoholism, like he did a favor for her and like helped her out.
This is what I saw. Oh, so she has a vendetta. He has a vendetta. Does he die? No, he doesn't die. He has a vendetta because he could have killed him. So now together they're gonna do something. They should have done it in this movie. Man, I think they just. I don't know how much money the first one made, but it
A
must have made
lot.
some. It was so was the third one always planned, or was it 1 and 2?
I think no, it was always planned
Really?
from the
Wow.
jump. Yeah.
Jesus. I think they really blew it. I mean, and you know what? And the kills.
Hold on, you're moving too fast.
Okay,
You're
okay,
moving
sorry.
too
Oh
fast.
no, yeah,
Slow
sorry,
down, buddy.
Man.
We're gonna circle back to the beginning actually,
Okay,
because
yeah.
but I actually liked that they kept Lori in the hospital because she was like you saw that surgery scene.
Well, they almost got her out,
She
and then
was
for some reason, someone punched her in the stomach, and then she had to go back in.
she was fucking ripped open, and they had to staple her up. Like she was pretty well fucked. Like I'm glad that they kept her from doing too much and like really making it unbelievable, right? Because even her trying to get around the hospital and stuff after she gets juiced up on pain medication was like that
Which
was
was weird, too.
stretching it a little bit. Also, they spent the whole first movie like doing that whole rivalry and like their big face off. So like if they would have done it again, then it would have been like it would have
No.
just been like retreading the same shit.
Awesome. Show me some cool shit. They premised this movie on she's coming back and she's gonna end it. That's what they premised this whole series on. That's what I remember. Like they're like, oh, she's coming back and she's gonna end it. They could have done it 3 bouts, 3 rounds. She finishes the last one. Man, I think they miss. Oh, anyways, if you're keep going, man, because I think they misdirected the whole thing. He should have not. He should have went after her, not to the house. The third movie should have been the
Well,
house.
he explained it, right? It's not about her, right? It's
100%.
not it's not like
But you
Halloween 2.
trapped me in a basement. You lit this house on fire. I'm gonna fucking come to kill you, and then I'm going home.
Well, that's
That's
why
what
he's
should.
so mad. But he doesn't know
Yeah.
where she's at, right?
So that's what. Oh, I know things go to the hospital when I mutilate them. You're at the hospital.
He's never been to the hospital. The only
He's been at
reason
a
he
mental
knew
hospital. But
the
so
only
that's
reason
my
he knew was because the doctor dropped him off at her house.
at her house.
Yeah.
She's going to a general place called the hospital where everybody's at when you're hurt.
But that's like the
That's
other
where
side of town.
yeah, he walks. He's a good walker. He's a very good walker.
He knows where
He
his
doesn't
house
drive.
is.
He doesn't drive because as we noticed that the people at the bar chased the guy who was driving a stolen car. He doesn't drive. Oh, that was another thing that bothered me too. Let's talk about the mob fact.
Hold on. Before
at
we
one
get to the
point.
mob, I gotta
No,
ask
I know.
you.
At one point, let's talk about that.
I gotta ask you about the flashback. The big
Loved it.
The fucking flashback to 1978
Loved it.
with cosplay Michael Myers. You loved it.
I love that whole flashback thing. I think they did such a great job. I don't know what they did to it to make it look whatever. It looked old. I don't know what they did. It looked
Did it
great.
look that different to you?
Yes, I can. Even Kelly was like, because I watched it. Well, I watched a little bit of Kelly because she was like, "No, I'm done." But yes, because she goes, "It looks the same," and I'm like, "No, it looks grainy. It has a grain to it, and it's the colors off a little bit. It looks like old film that they like digitalized." I thought they did a great job with that. Obviously, it's not, but it looks like old film.
That's so funny. I really expected you to be like, that looks so stupid.
No, it was great. I thought they could have done a lot with that. They've changed, they changed the lore already, so they could have done, they could have done more with it.
That's amazing. What did you think of the Dr. Loomis?
The new with the what about Dr. Loomis?
The one that showed up in that sequence.
He looked fine. Was that not a real one? I can't remember.
No, that was a guy wearing makeup.
No way.
Yeah.
Hold on. I mean, I wasn't like, is that Dr. Loomis? But
Did you think that was like footage from like an old Halloween or something?
I guess not. Well, yeah, I guess I did. You know what? It never even crossed my mind.
Wow, you got sucked in by the movie magic.
Maybe because we were talking about, because it was a conversation me and Kelly had where I was like, oh, it looks cool. She's like, it looks the same. And I was like, no, it looks like interesting. I'm going to have to watch it again. Okay. Damn it. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I thought it looked the same.
Really? Oh, no.
Yeah.
I thought it did. They did a cool job, but like, I think they could have done more with it.
I noticed what you noticed. I noticed they tried. They did the film grain look, and they did the old costume and the mask, and they did the like everybody's dressed like it's the fucking 70s, and they had those really ugly kids, which was awesome.
Oh my God, the kid, the little kid who falls, and he's like, "Ugh."
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, that would be totally me as a kid. I'd fall down like and just curl up too.
But to me, it didn't look. It still looked like the same movie, but they're just all like dressed up in costumes.
Like in they're acting it, they're dressing up.
Because it was also made the same way, right? It wasn't shot in the same aspect ratio, and then it also like, it was shot the same way. Like there's a scene where the cop first goes upstairs and he flashes his flashlight down at the footprints, and then when Michael attacks him, it goes to like a handheld like fast cut style
when he runs at him.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like the original Halloween at all. The original Halloween didn't like look like that or feel like that.
I haven't seen the original Halloween in quite a while, so maybe like if I saw that and I was like, well, obviously it's not the same.
Well, what really
we know it's not the same, but but I like. Have you seen like? Do you watch a lot of old movies that have been 4K, not 4K, but
Oh yeah, but
1080p out.
like a new transfer to Blu-ray and
Yeah,
stuff.
to me, it had that look of it, of old being made at HD, and
Yes.
I don't know.
However, here's what really spoiled it for me was they went to the trouble of making that, right? And making their own flashback like in this new world, right? With
Yeah,
the rules and the look and all that.
yeah.
Then I don't know, like 15 minutes later, they're in the bar with those characters, the Haddonfield
Showing
kids.
the videos.
They show the goddamn clips from the
Oh,
previous fucking movie. You went
I didn't
to
even think of
all the
that. That's
trouble
hilarious.
to create this like new like flashback scene, and then you just showed clips from the old movie. Come on.
Well, man, I feel like that whole mob scene was like just second thought. That whole all those characters. I don't know. It wasn't a second thought, obviously, but I don't man.
I
That's
like the
where
idea of all the Haddonfield kids that were fucked up by the original murder. They all get together and drink because they're all fucked up. And,
you know what's weird
this
though?
is an
They
event
say
the town will
40
never forget.
years later. 40 years later, because he's been in fucking wherever for 40 years. How are they still like? That's what I was like. How are they still there? Like, and it's only the like four of them because right, the other people are like, "What are you guys doing here? We're celebrating."
Yeah.
Um, but it was like, I don't think that many people would know of something, keep something alive so strong for 40 years. I don't know. I couldn't.
Well,
I
that's
didn't
why
find
I
it
think
believable.
they made it seem like not very many people knew. But if they really wanted to drive it home, they should have had like, oh, Halloween is banned or Halloween was banned from like
That's what I'm saying. There was no
1982 through 1996 or something like that.
there was no like we keep it alive, the memory alive by this. It was just three people that show up at a bar and drink beer on Halloween every year, supposedly. I
They
mean,
also
yeah,
didn't show Tommy Doyle, right? He was right there. He looked the boogeyman like right in the face. He was there with Lori uh, on that night. Same with Lindsay. They don't show Tommy doing anything. Like what does he do for work? Is he like so fucked up he can't work? Like what is his day-to-day like? Are his relationships fucked up? Is he lonely? Does he live by himself? You never get a sense of like anything.
that's the guy with the son.
No, that's Lonnie.
Oh, that guy bothered me.
Oh, I liked him a lot. I thought he got the best little story out of all of those kids, but no,
Uh,
Tommy is the Anthony Michael Hall.
I don't know.
Yeah. They sort of
Yeah.
flirt with him being like, I'm trying to prove that I'm a hero, but it doesn't like they just don't push it far enough.
No, it to me was like he's just going to be the match to the flame because he was really into it, and yeah, for some reason he got really into it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't like that his. I mean, yeah, I didn't like his character. I didn't. Yeah, I just those all those bringing all those people did not. I felt it was like fan service, and which is awesome. But I felt like it was too. They try to use it too much to carry the story, and I don't think there was enough there to carry the story of me caring
Yeah.
why all these people are gonna go insane. I like that premise, and man, what I wish would have happened is that they get all riled up, and they like, I mean, it looks awesome. Like they're all like they're ready. Like like you say, man, they canceled Halloween, so once he breaks out, they're like, no, we've been ready for this shit. They all suited and booted, man. They all go chasing them, and they all go down in like just miserable. Even though they're so prepared, this motherfucker just destroys them. Because that's at the end when they shoot the shit out of him, they beat the crap out of him, and then he goes, and I was like, oh, that was, and then he goes into this stylized him killing people.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, where was that the whole fucking movie? Like I was expecting him. Okay, wait. So the first people we kill, no, not the first, the second people we killed is the lady who gets out of the car and goes, "No, stay in the car. These two kids are on swings. I'm gonna go talk to them." I was like, "What the fuck is this premise? Like, this is a stupid premise." And then for the kids to go, "Oh, there's this guy hiding, and hey, dude, we can see you, blah blah blah, and fuck off, lady, blah blah."
I love.
That was
I will say I love how fucking obnoxious and aloof those kids are, because that's exactly how modern kids would deal with something like this.
Do you honestly, do you think modern kids would see this dude hiding behind trees playing peekaboo and be like, "Nah, he's just, what is he gonna do?" Dude, you're little kids. You're not even like teen. If they were teenagers, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, these guys think they're bad." They weren't. They were like, and
They would just think he's like filming a TikTok or like making a YouTube video.
dude, I'm out. As a 40-year-old man, I see that, I'm out. I'm running. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I'm gonna die. Like, that's not the internet is real, and the internet has shown us this shit is crazy. I don't think that whole I don't know. I think they could have done all these killings in a much different in a better situations. I don't know. The situations took me out of it too. They were stupid situations. The lady got that even the killings were not, I feel, up to par to what I've seen in movies where I was like, yeah, that was fucking awesome. It was just like, oh, he just shoved a light in her neck. That was interesting. And then she watches him get stabbed to death while he tries out knives.
Yeah, he pulls
It
every
just
single knife off the magnetic strip. I will
it was
say so the Lori's neighbors, the little couple with the drone,
yeah.
that scare made me jump about 100 feet off my fucking couch, where he's in the bathroom and the guy flips on the light and Michael immediately punches it out. That
Yes,
was
yes, that was
awesome. That
cool.
was
That was
fucking awesome.
see, man. Oh, man. See, there was little parts like that where I was like, oh yeah, and then it was just like no,
I think
I
we
don't.
can all agree, though, the firefighter scene absolutely lived up to how
No,
it looked in the trailer.
no. I
What?
thought that sucked too. I was
What?
expecting, dude. The moment, okay, this is what I saw. The moment the dude, when Michael Myers comes up, dude grabs the axe and you can see him tighten up on it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be badass, dude. He pretty much pokes everybody in the eye instantly and they all like die. It was like, oh, that wasn't much of a fight. Even the guy with the saw, it was like he picks up the saw and he just, oh, right on me? Okay, right on me. It was like, oh, like you're not even gonna like it was very man. See, and that was the beginning of the movie where I was like, oh, it's gonna get crazy. He's gonna just beat the shit out of people going home. And it doesn't turn out that way.
Wow.
Yeah, man, I did not like this movie. The first one was so good
Okay,
that
okay. Hold on. Okay, so circling back to when they're all trapped in the car at the park
yeah,
after they shoo those kids away,
yeah,
and then Michael's there, and then they redo that scene from the original Halloween, where he runs up the back onto the top of the car.
yeah.
Uh, right, they're shooting and doing all that
Yeah.
stuff, and
She
then
breaks the wheel.
the nurse gets killed. She just gets a boring old like stabbing, but she
Yeah.
does do I will say, in terms of fan service, I did like that moment where she was like, "This one's for Dr. Loomis," which was stupid.
Yes.
But she does tries to shoot him with a revolver,
Click,
and she's out, just
click,
like
click, click.
yep, right at the same exact as the ending of Halloween 2, where Loomis is like about to fire on Michael, and he's just like, and then gets stabbed in the gut. So I thought
So
that was a nice little nod, but
that makes more sense because I thought that scene was like, oh, that was a throwaway scene. Like you could have used that for something cooler, but I don't remember that scene. I forgot about that scene, so that makes it even better that they didn't use it because I would have said, oh, they're copying it. Okay, great, great. That one little part, I love it. The rest sucked.
so what about the guy
Oh, even the wait,
the
when
guy who's dressed
there's
as the doctor gets stabbed up
yes,
into
yes.
his
So
brain?
first, his wife, the nurse, uh, doesn't take. I mean, when she's like, "Oh, I'm a nurse," he's a doctor. When they're gonna join the car, they're gonna get in the car. I mean, I get it. It's a movie. You wouldn't take the little hat off. Like I was just like, oh, she's just not gonna get ready for it. She's just gonna
Oh, and
wear
when he
her.
goes back, he's like, I forgot my stethoscope. But they're
Yeah,
rushing out in an emergency because they just saw on the news that their neighbors got murdered. Right? They
but
were
he
like,
has.
that's right next door. Oh my God. And he's like, I forgot my stethoscope, which probably
Yeah,
cost him like $5. Like, that
yeah,
really stuck out to me. I was like, really?
yeah. That's the one, and she doesn't take. Dude, both of them right there, awful characters. Man, I no. This movie was
But
it
wait,
was not
the kill
done
though,
well.
him getting stabbed and then being like, "Wah."
Oh, through the face.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Now, what about
That was a good kill.
The
That
John
was a good
Wick
kill.
style kill on his wife,
Oh,
where he kicks the door into
I
her hand
feel
and it,
yes. And it flips and crack. I feel that is like that needs to happen because it was so fast, and I did like that because that's when he gets in the car, kicks the door, and if everything just happens so fast, which is what I was expecting the movie to be, I guess. Him doing cool shit like that throughout the whole thing with all these people who think they're the fucking badass, and then he gets home and then whatever whatever they want to do.
so you wanted more John Wick style execution kills.
Yes, yeah. You know what? Yes, I did. I wanted more fucking it's 2021. We can do things now. We've done things like let's bring this because I don't see I don't see how Halloween, man, what a great premise and all this, but there's not much you can do with him just being in the neighborhood. It's like Friday 13, he has the woods, he has camp counseling, you know what I mean? There's so much to that. Halloween is just him in a neighborhood with his grudge with this girl. It just and I guess that's it. There's nothing else. So when they don't even give us the grudge and the girl with the girl, it's like, oh, what is there's nothing there. There's nothing there. But three is gonna be I guess three is gonna be it. But I wasted my money on two. I could have not even seen two then.
You wasted your money.
Yeah, I didn't pay for it. But you could then you know what? If three comes out and it's fucking him and Lori fucking just going at it, I'll never watch two, and I'll watch one and three, and it'll be awesome. You know what I mean? You could totally skip this movie, and you'll probably not even miss it.
You touched on something that I have a theory about. So like he at the in the climax of the movie when he gets cornered by the townspeople and they're armed with like, a gun and a hockey stick, and I think one lady has like an iron, which is pretty funny.
Oh yeah, she has an iron. Yep. She does have an iron.
But they beat him down, they shoot him a few times, and it looks like he's down for the count.
As a
And,
normal person would be.
yeah, but then he puts on his mask, and when he puts on his mask, everything changes, and he like slow
No, wait,
mo.
doesn't he put on his mask on first?
I can't remember. She
Yeah,
takes the
I
mask
think
and
he
like
she
lures
takes
him into the
yes,
alley.
yes into the bait. That's the bait trap. She runs with the mask. He gets there, and they're like, "We're ready for you, Michael." And then he reaches down, puts on his mask, and then they go at him.
All right. Well, either way, when he makes his comeback, it does change into this like weird stylized like slow mo, and like I know you're like they're using the lighting of the car to light that and everything,
Almost like a flash. Yeah, yeah.
but it felt weird. It felt almost like a dream sequence, and at a point I questioned whether or not it was happening.
So
Can you
with him,
imagine if the next movie, all of those characters are still alive because Michael just imagined himself slaughtering them and he ends up like in a coma in the hospital or something like that?
wow. So you're talking like Creature from the Black Lagoon kind of stuff. We just watched the Creature Walks Among Us, which is part two, and it's pretty much they get the creature, they find him, they bring him. He like gets burnt, and they bring him back to the lab, and he starts turning human,
Oh,
and then like
weird.
it's you should watch it. It's on Peacock. It's a really cool premise, but so when they shoot him, beat the crap out of him, he should be dead. But he comes back like nothing happened. Is he supernatural?
Well, he should have been dead after the first movie too, right?
Yeah,
He should have also been dead
yeah.
after,
Yes and no, because
even
if he,
after trying to escape that burning building. He should have just
but look
choked
at his
on
mask.
smoke
Look
and
at his mask.
died.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I mean he wouldn't have been able to breathe though. No way.
But his in his mask is, I mean, it's burnt, but like one side burnt, and it's not gone. It's just burnt.
Well, so
It's
they
just
talk about it, right? Laurie talks about it, and Hawkins talks about it while
yes.
they're in the hospital.
The more he kills, the more he feeds, and the stronger he gets. So that's how. Are they making this? Are they making him supernatural?
I mean,
Is
I
this
think
what we're
that's
going
the
towards?
debate. I think that's the
'Cause
argument. It's
that's
like,
what I
what
see.
is he?
Because they, from what I mean, from what what I've seen, what I understand, he's not supernatural. I
When I
mean,
saw an
sure,
interview with David Gordon Green where he said my interpretation of it is not he's not supernatural. He's not magic, but he is capable of extraordinary things. He isn't normal. He's operating like on a different level. And if you know anything about like catatonics, uh, like I had a community college psychology class, and my professor would tell us stories about working at Western State Hospital, and he told us this one story about this guy who is a catatonic, right? And he just he did nothing. He said nothing. He didn't move. He would just like sit in a room quietly. If they wanted to take him to a different wing of the hospital to do stuff, or like, you know, um, sit in on meetings or do whatever, he would go. Like, they would lead him, and he would just kind of shuffle his feet and get there. But other than that, he didn't do anything. And then one day they were walking him down the hall, and he just like flipped out and like threw the orderlies off of him, and he went over to like a wall and just started punching it. And he's like, his fists were like bloody, and like he just like punched through this wall, and like no one could stop him. Like they had a hell of a time restraining him. But it's that
but
type of thing where people who are afflicted with, certain types of, mental states, like they're capable of sort of separating themselves from pain and separating themselves from injury. And
yes, but I mean, to a point. Their bones are not made of antimonium or whatever it's called. Their bones are sure they can punch and punch and punch, but his bones are broken.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like people who are on PCP. I remember watching Cops when I was a kid, and they're chasing this guy, and he goes to the roof. He jumps off the roof from like this 5-story building. The camera like goes over there. They can see the guy on the floor, and it's like, oh, he hit the floor, and he gets up and runs.
Oh
They
yeah,
find him a couple blocks later, and his legs are broken, but he had enough adrenaline where it was like, "Rah."
yeah.
So yes, I mean,
Or like drunk
yes,
people when they fall out a window, right? And it's like, well, because
well,
they
they're
were
so
drunk, they were able to like they didn't resist the impact.
yes, yes. So their ball, well, it was almost like jelly.
Yeah.
Yes, but to a point, right? They shot the shit out of
Yeah, they shot him
dude,
like what,
and okay,
3 or 4
and I
times?
think I found that something, yeah, the lady at the end just shoots him down. So it says let's see, is Michael Myers immortal? David Gordon Green, the director of Halloween Kills, recently addressed this in an interview with IGN. While he believes Myers is capable of spectacular things, Green's personal concept for the character is that he's not innately supernatural.
Yeah.
So so that takes away that he's supernatural.
Right.
I'm very interested in man, I'm very interested in 3 then, because I don't see where they're gonna take this.
Well, I'm gonna run with that theory. I'm gonna run with the theory that when they take him down, that's the end. Like we're gonna find out that like all the shit that happened after that, even the murder of Judy Greer's character, the daughter of Laurie, I
Which
don't
was
think that
very
happened.
weird.
I don't think it happened.
Okay. I like where you're going, because when I saw that, I was like, that's interesting. That's weird. I don't. Yes. Okay. That would be, man. That wouldn't save this movie, but it would save this trilogy. Because man, I'm really not digging the second one. It's not. There's a lot of plot holes. Not plot holes. It's not even. Yeah, it's not even good. And I think they try to tie up a lot of stuff and keep a lot of stuff going, and they could have done that They didn't need this.
I think that's kind of the story of the movie is they do a lot. There's so much happening, but it doesn't really sort of amount to anything.
Yes,
And that's where
it's
the
the whole.
disappointment comes from because there's so much
It's the middle
happening.
of the movie.
There's
It's the middle of the movie.
all these
It doesn't
people coming
end.
back and all these characters and everybody's like going to a different part of town and all this.
Man, and yes, I wanted a John Wick style movie, but I can see how that's just that'd be like another drop in the bucket, which I'd be this being the whole rebirth or whatever. Sure, don't do that, but man, 3 better be good.
I had a good time watching it. Like it was like a thrilling movie and it was a roller coaster of emotions and like every scene like would unfold and have like within the same shot I would like react well to one thing and then react badly to another, and it was such a like exhausting experience, but I had fun watching it. I have a lot of the same complaints I think that everybody does, but I don't know. I think in hindsight I think this movie's going to look a lot different,
With the
especially
third
once the
installment,
third movie comes out. I don't think it's going to look the same. I think it did end up being a lot different from than what the trailer sort of portrayed it as.
yeah, because I thought it was just gonna be yeah, man,
One
yeah.
thing I really liked about it though, and this is a point I made talking to Elliot about it, was I love the fact that the cops were so far, like they were like 2 or 3 steps behind the entire movie. So think about it this way. As Lori is leaving her house, like they're driving
Yeah.
down the road in the back of the truck,
Yeah,
Michael is there killing the firefighters, right? So the firefighters are there. Lori's on her way to the hospital. The cops haven't even gotten there yet to discover those bodies. And he's killed all the firefighters and he's already like making his way. He's killed Lori's neighbors and he's on his way home. And they're still struggling to like figure out what the fuck is going on.
what's gonna happen?
They've got people at the hospital interviewing
Yeah, the
people.
mobs are going crazy.
Yeah. And I thought that was cool. And there's a point where the sheriff has like just lost control of the entire situation. He's just sitting on the stairwell, like looking dejected. Like,
Well,
I
that's
don't
when
know
the guy
what to
jumps out the
do.
window. When after the guy commits suicide,
Yeah.
then everybody do that slow thing where he's sitting on the thing, she's sitting doing something, the daughter's sitting down doing something else. So what do you think? I mean, what was the point of the mob? Like to show the anarchy of what Michael Myers is doing? Do you think that's part of the supernatural, or I mean, not supernatural, but I, I just feel like it's a waste of time. I know Laura, I know she was in the hospital, but I just the mob thing really kind of didn't. It didn't go anywhere, and I don't know where they're taking it.
Yeah, I think it was to show like it's something you've never really seen.
They made us. We're the monster now.
Yeah, they shouldn't have blurted it out. I mean, that was my big problem with the whole movie, was that everyone talked so much, and instead of just showing us what we need to know in order to come to that conclusion, all the characters have to say it like we're
idiots.
stupid.
Yeah.
And that's what the previous movie did well, is like they didn't have to say a ton of stuff. There was some exposition like to fill in some of the gaps and explain some things, but mostly it was like, here's this incredible image and the events unfolding, and like you get it. And it worked really well. But here, yeah, you have characters being like, wow, the real monsters were us all along.
For us.
But it was like something you don't see in slasher movies, is this like rippling effect where like, I mean, maybe like the closest thing is like Freddy's Dead, right? Where like all these towns, like all these ghost towns and stuff like that, right? Where the people have just abandoned. But you get that here, like, oh, these people have been sort of like haunted by this memory for so long, and then.
But have they? I know the cop like the main people who've been in the system, the cops for sure. They've they've had to deal with it and stuff like that. But like you say, they didn't show any like anniversary stuff or like something where the town kind of comes together and this would cause such. Because I mean, what kind of starts it? The guy stealing the car,
Yeah,
right?
basically. And then
That was
Tommy
kind of what
Tommy
started it.
going around and just like trying to rile people up,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though
All right, hey,
nothing that
everybody
he
grab a
says
bat.
is really that like I'm not sure why people got fired up.
No, there's nothing. He just tells people what to do. To me, it was like, all right, film me saying things in slow motion and then just put some crazy music over it. Like I'm getting all these people riled up, and they're like, why don't we just play what he's saying? And it's like, no,
I feel
he's
like
not
a
saying
lot of that
much.
stuff was done to subvert expectation. It was like, oh, you thought Lori was the hero? Well, no, she's going to stay in the hospital. Oh, you thought fucking Tommy Doyle was going to be the man. Nope. Turns out like he wanted to be the big hero, but he couldn't get the job done. And he's trying really hard, but in the end, he just fucking blows it because he's not qualified for the job.
Yeah, I don't want to see this in a Halloween movie. This is Halloween. I want to see Michael Myers fuck people up. They should have kept it where he's like it's not going to be Laurie, it's going to be him. Oh no, his whole team got demolished by Michael Myers. They thought they were the shit, and they got turned into dust. Let's see. And then Laurie's like, "Well, I guess it's up to me." Boom, the third movie. I'm interested in what the third one is, just because the first one was so good. It got me into it. That first one could have not even been that good, but it got me into it. Where I'm like, "Oh man, that was good."
Do you think that when Empire Strikes Back came out, that people had a reaction like this, where they were like, "What the fuck just happened?" Because like
No,
the beginning of Empire Strikes Back is the rebels getting fucking wasted.
because on Planet Hoth, right?
Yeah, they get their asses like beat.
No, because that was no, but because by the end of the movie though, they're back to being on top, aren't they?
No, Luke is missing a hand. Han
Oh,
Solo's
that's
like
right.
been
He is.
abducted.
He
Like they're
is. Yes.
fucked.
Yes. Yeah, but you find out some crazy shit. Like you find out about the brother and sister thing. Um, no,
Yeah,
there's
it's all
there's there's
crazy shit.
enough, but there's enough at the end where you're like, I cannot wait to watch the third one.
Right, but that's
This
what
one,
you just
there's not.
said. That's why I
This one,
mentioned
there's
it,
not.
because you were like, I can't wait to see what they do with the third one.
Because this one sucked so bad. Not that this movie was so good that I want to see the third one. This one sucked so bad that I cannot see how they're gonna pull their heads out of their asses.
Hmm.
That's what I'm. It's not because I'm excited because these were so good. I'm excited to see how they pull their heads out of it, if they even do that. And I don't think they can. I'm already going against it because I think it's gonna suck too. Unless they, man, no.
Did you
Like I said,
know? Have you heard
uh,
this? The next movie is going to be a time jump 4 years in the future. So 4 years after the events of this movie.
and that's why they let everybody down. Like Tommy can't do it. Laura's in the hospital.
I don't know. That's why my
Okay,
theory.
fine. That's no, I haven't heard that, but fine. You still made a beginning of you made one movie, and you're selling me each piece. You're piecemealing it to me.
This is so funny to me because I've been in your shoes before and in the shoes of a lot of people for their criticisms of this movie, but like I didn't there's a lot of stuff I didn't like about the movie, but like I'm not mad at it. Like you seem mad
I'm
at
mad
it.
at
A
it.
lot of
I'm mad at it
people seem mad at it.
because I don't watch a lot of movies. I'm a
You're a busy guy.
huge I'm a busy guy, man. And I grew up watching horror movies. I loved them. So that was my thing. Um, so seeing something like this kind of come back and be like, oh man, it's kind of cool that they still can keep this fucking character alive. Even though I think from all the movie maniacs that I like, he's probably the least. Just because
What?
there's not much. I like Jason. I like Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger's my favorite. Like I grew up on Freddy Krueger. He is my favorite. And then we have like Pinhead, Friday 13. Halloween was it was it's atmospheric spooky, but it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't have a lot. So they could have put so much. They didn't do good.
What was the last good horror movie that you saw that like really left an impression on you?
That was let me think. Horror movie? Oh, It Follows. I thought that was really well done. And the premise was like, oh, that's interesting.
Did you see that when it came out, or
Yeah, I saw it in theaters.
holy
And
sh?
I saw it with a crowd of people. And that was awesome.
Well,
I saw it when it came out on Blu-ray, I bought it because I was like, that was great. And I saw it with Kelly because I was in with Kelly when we watched it. When I watched it with her brother, I think. And it was not as good. Maybe because I already watched it. Maybe because I already watched it, I know what's happening. But the
yeah,
audience was a big part of it.
that's wild. That was 2014
Yeah,
when that movie came out. That was
that
7
was
years
probably
ago.
that was probably the last horror. Like, name another horror movie that's come out since, and I'll tell you yes or no. But that was probably the last.
Hereditary?
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen Hereditary?
No,
Well,
but
goddamn.
I've seen Bubba. Oh, fuck, Bubba Hotek.
Bubba Hotep.
No, that's the one with.
That's the one
No,
with
that's
Bruce Campbell as
yeah. No,
Elvis.
that's Bruce Campbell. No, no, no. Um, there's another one. Oh, with the same lady, I believe, that was in Friday 13. The daughter. I mean, Halloween, the daughter. No, because this is Australian. It's like an Australian horror movie.
Australian.
Boba. It's about a book, and this mom goes insane.
Oh, the Baba Duke?
Baba Duke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Hereditary because I've seen Baba Duke, and I feel like it's the same thing.
Oh, no, not even close.
Watch it.
Baba Duke also came out in 2014. You're like living in the past.
Oh, how about Midsummer?
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But it wasn't. I don't think it was a horror movie. I think it was more like what the fuck, I want not suspense. Yeah, suspense.
Yeah.
I don't think it was much horror.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough one. I couldn't really say. But
Well, and let's like the last ones they've brought back: Halloween, the Rob Zombie ones. Was it Rob? Is that Rob Zombie did Halloween?
yeah,
Yeah, that was right. All right.
that's crazy to me. I need to. Did you see The Void?
The Void
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
Came out in 2016. Some people are trapped in a hospital by a cult, and
No, I've seen this. I've seen the T-shirts.
they all have white robes and like triangles on there.
I've seen the T-shirt because it's the I've seen the guy praying and the things coming down like tentacles.
Have you never
No,
seen
is that
movie?
good? Man, I need to. Yeah, no, I haven't.
I need to make you a list because you need
Make
to
me
get
a list, dude.
you need to get caught up.
Make me a list. You know what movies I've been wanting to watch and I haven't are the ones that I don't know if they're horror because I haven't watched them, but the ones that not Nick Nolte, Nicolas Cage is making.
Which ones?
Like what are the ones he just made?
He had this movie Pig, that just
Pig,
came
that's
out.
the newest. That's the newest one. There's other one like the one Mandy.
Oh, you haven't seen Mandy?
I haven't seen Mandy.
Holy shit!
I haven't seen what's the other one? The Colors. Something
Oh,
about
the Color Out of
Colors.
Space.
Color Out of Space. Haven't seen that.
Yeah, that's based on an
See, like,
H.P. Lovecraft story.
oh, interesting. See, I know about all these movies, but I don't watch them.
Yeah, you really don't have time. You're too busy
Don't have
watching
time. Well, and I can't watch
Monsters,
scary
Inc.
movies. Well, I can't watch scary movies during the day.
Oh, me
And by the
neither.
time, and by nighttime, well, because my kids can't watch any of this.
Yeah.
And by nighttime, I like either have to work because I fucking hung out with my kids all day, so I work at night, or
Work
pick a
at
time.
night?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna right after we get off. I have to continue working.
What? Well, goddamn, you have about 50 years worth of movies to catch up on, and you also have to stop working so much.
Yeah, you're telling me. Especially when the movie fucking sucked. Dude, really, I was like, it almost to a point where I was like, I don't even want to sit here and watch this anymore. Like, get on with it. I
That's
think it's
so
when
funny.
they were doing their love talk. I was like, no.
Oh, I thought that was
No.
sweet. Although I didn't buy for a second that Hawkins survived that fucking stab to the throat. He was sitting on the sidewalk, like bleeding out,
bleeding out.
waiting for
Yeah,
that
no.
kid to find him. I was like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Although they did a good job at something, because every time he turned his neck, I like put my hand up and I was like, please stop turning your neck. I was
All
like,
right.
sir, you have just had like a major contusion in a huge artery. Like, please don't tear your stitches.
You know what was weird too is when they were chasing like every time like Lori got up and she got punched in the stomach. She got punched in the stomach by a nurse,
Oh yeah,
and then when she's going up the stairs, going, "That's not him. That's not." Another nurse pushes her down the stairs, like pushes her.
yeah.
It wasn't like a oops. It was like a push. It was so weird.
Doesn't she
That was
knee a
weird to me.
doctor in the balls too?
No, that's the one who needs doesn't. That's the part where he. That's what I thought too. I thought she hits the dude, but then she falls down and she's like, ugh. So then I was like, oh, he do it? That's funny that you say that because I thought she did it to him.
I kept thinking that the mental patient,
Yeah.
like you recognized him from the first one, right? Because he was there in that scene where the podcasters go and take the mask to Michael, and like they start freaking out. You
Oh,
remember
he's
that?
in there? No, I saw him when they're like he's in a TV news clip that he escaped.
You don't remember? It's like the very first scene of the movie where they go to the mental hospital,
Yeah.
and
I'm
it's like on
sure.
the checkerboard.
Yes. Okay. Yes. When he's standing there.
Yeah. So that mental patient, he's in that crowd of people that are all in that courtyard with him.
Yeah, but then that's the one they chase.
Yeah, but I kept
Yeah. Because
thinking, I was like, is he supposed to be like somebody else? Like, am I supposed to know who he is besides just like, oh, it's that guy who was at the hospital?
yeah, no, I thought he was a scapegoat the whole time. I was like, oh, now they're chasing him. That's just a big
I
hoopla.
just, everything that popped up, like I kept thinking like, oh, is that a reference? Oh, is that an Easter egg? Because like there were so many, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, do I need to know who that person is? Or like, oh, did I forget who that person is? Like, it kind of bothered me.
Man, then I'd be interested in because I love the commentaries. I'd love to listen to commentary with the director.
Yeah.
I would really like. You know what? We need to when this movie comes out. I want to hear the commentary because I really got to hear what this guy's
Oh, I bet
was
there'll
thinking.
be some good stuff and some like the making of featurettes and all that'll be pretty cool.
I'm interested, man, because I don't know.
Aside that, this has happened to me with a couple of sequels. This happened to me with Alien Covenant. It happened to
Oh,
me with Terminator Dark Fate, where I was
oh,
like, these movies weren't what I wanted, but it's what I got. And like somehow I was able to find a way. Like the more I watch Alien Covenant, the more I like it.
is it because I mean, sure, but is it like I didn't like this song until I kept hearing it. Like,
Oh,
do you
like an
really want to?
earworm?
Yeah, do you want to really hear a shitty song until it sounds good? Like,
I mean, but doesn't that mean it is a good song?
no. If I think if your first reaction is, well, that wasn't very good, because no, because sure, you're saying, oh, Alien Covenant's better now. Yeah, but it's not. No one's praising it as like, man, that was good. It was just it continued the franchise, and that's what really people. It's the feeling of it continuing the franchise, and that's what people resonate with. No one's talking about the movie. We're still talking about the first ones because
Oh,
this
I
one
don't
was.
talk about those anymore.
But you know what I mean? Like
My favorite is Alien
these had more
Resurrection.
questions. Oh, that was great. But those were that I'm not even saying like those were good. The Covenant should have answered so much things, but it made it just it didn't answer shit. It made
No,
it
it did.
weird.
You
I mean,
just didn't like the answers.
it answered some things, but it didn't. It's there's still things up in the air about it.
The robot invented the aliens.
Yeah, but then who? Oh man, I haven't seen
But
these
who
movies in
invented the
forever. But who
robots? The
answered the
guy.
robot and who did? There's a whole thing of like, well, then what's this? There's so much that it opens up. Man, I was so into it when that movie came out because I saw it and that's another one I saw on IMAX and
Bro, I
her
saw it
running.
in 4DX.
Oh, was that awesome?
They kept spraying me in the fucking face with water. I was
No
so
way,
mad.
really?
Well, like
Can we turn this on?
when the alien pops out the back of the guy, like, oh yeah, as soon as he pops out, it's spray you in the face with water.
Oh,
It
that's
was a
funny.
trip. And then when you're floating around in space, like the hydraulics, like you're like, ooh.
Really? They did that?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It
That's
was
pretty
not
cool.
fun when I saw fucking Aquaman in 40X, because every fight
Oh,
scene,
jeez.
they're just
Everything was
like,
water?
they're just jerking the chair around. And
Uh,
like it gave my mom a back problem.
yeah, oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, it sucked. And that movie sucked. But both of those movies, Dark Fate and Covenant, I didn't like the first time I watched it, but I was watching them under the pretense of like, this isn't what I wanted. And then the next time I watched them, I was like, well, let me just watch these and take them as
As
they
they
are.
are. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
And as you should. I mean, it's not your story. It's the whole George Lucas thing. Like he can do whatever the fuck he wants with these movies, but he's messing with our memories. Yeah, but they're his movies.
They're
He
his
came up with it.
memories.
They're his ideas, not even
Yeah.
his memories. They're his ideas, and your memories are based on his ideas. So, wah, you know what I mean? Wah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We made you. So give us some fan service. I don't know.
I think I think Halloween Kills is such a fascinating example because it's exactly what like a fan would think was cool. Like all of these ideas of like, oh, Sheriff Brackett is back and he says the line from the original Halloween, and oh, it's a grown-up Tommy Doyle just like in Halloween 6, and oh, it's fucking, you know, this and that and whatever. Like it's all of those ideas. Like if you read them somewhere, you'd be like, "Oh, that sounds like something a fan came up with and thought was really cool."
Just the execution was not good. I guess maybe man editing. I don't know.
I mean, I agree. I think overall, like it didn't really work for me, but at the same time, like I like I said, like it was so thrilling to watch, and I was thinking about it for a long time, and I rushed to the internet to see what other people thought about it, and like I think it's going to be a really interesting trilogy, like when it's all over. Like it's going to be fucking mind-blowing. And I think Jamie Lee Curtis said something about she's like the third one's going to piss a lot of people off.
Well, if she only knew.
So what does that mean?
Well, what didn't she say the first one was like Black Lives Matter or something like that too? Something like that. She
Uh
had a weird thing she was doing with the movies. Um,
I mean, if she feels the type of way about it, I guess you could say that, but I don't think there was like a super strong like allegory in that
I don't know.
one
Like I said,
particularly.
I'm not done with this. I'd like to see what the third one brings, and to see if it makes the second one better. Maybe it'll flesh out, like you say. Once you see all three, it'll be oh that fleshes out. But then
Here's a
that
great example. I watched the Matrix trilogy
yes.
recently, and
Are you excited for the new one?
maybe I've
Okay.
seen The Matrix Reloaded a million times because I got that DVD in college, and for some reason, it's the easiest to just like jump into and watch. Like I would watch it like while I was eating or while I was doing homework or whatever, and I really like it. But I watched all of the movies together, and the first one still sort of stands alone on its own, like as kind of just a singular movie.
Yeah.
And but then I realized that like when you watch Reloaded and Revolutions back to back, they make like one big movie together.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, totally. But each movie, like you said, though, the first one stands on its own.
Yeah, definitely. And I think
S-
we're gonna get that. Like I think
But
that's how
but we
this
should
is
have
gonna
got.
finish
But
out.
we didn't get that in this. And then I guess the issue with it is that we did not get that on the second one, and I'm okay with it. Maybe the third one finishes it, but make this part one and a half or whatever. Then don't. I don't know. It's not part two.
Yeah, they should do what you want to do. You didn't come up with any of
Should
the
have read
ideas. You
my
didn't
ideas.
hire any of the crew. You don't have any money for the budget. You don't have any studio
It's true.
space. You have no resources and no skin in the game, but they should do
It's true.
exactly what you want.
I'm not paying for the Peacock service. So.
Yeah. Uh yeah, if they don't do what you want, you're going to take your $13 and go elsewhere. And then
No,
what are they gonna
I'm
do?
not gonna buy my next NECA version of this movie
Yeah, you're
because
not
they're gonna
gonna
come
buy
out
the
with the
new
next
fucking
one.
box set
Okay,
that comes out
I'm
in
not gonna
6
get the
years
new. I'm not gonna get the new one.
with the
So, mwah.
fucking
You know what
limited
I will
edition
get? I will
record
see Evil
pressing of the
Dead.
soundtrack.
I will see Evil Dead 2, the remake. I'll watch that one. I'll watch the next Ninja Turtles, but I won't watch any more of the Halloweens. I will not support them, and they will go down.
Did you at least like the music? I thought the music was really good and maybe the best in the series.
The music was good.
I
I don't
fucking love the
remember.
music.
I don't remember much. Like, oh wow, that was good. But I don't remember going.
Weird.
It sounded good.
It
Man,
really stood out
I
to me.
I had nothing like I can't. I'm not saying the. Yeah, no, I said the movie sucked. Production wise, it was good. It looked good, everything, but it just, man, the story was just not my thing.
I did
The
that. I think that's a good distinction to make too. Like this movie may have failed, but it failed at the highest possible level.
Yeah,
It's like
and it had,
going to the Super Bowl and then like missing a field goal.
and because you had all that momentum getting to the Super Bowl, and it's like, yeah, and then you play the Super Bowl, like, yeah, but man, yeah,
They
what a
should have had
bummer to
Michael
lose.
Myers at the Super Bowl.
They should have. He could be playing with Dr. Dre and Eminem.
What?
They're playing the Super Bowl.
Oh, right. Yeah, so he's going around killing people during their performance.
Vegas, man.
Too many lights. It's not dark enough.
That's even the best part. A bunch of drunk people, and it's just lit up, and he's just fucking murdering people, and people are like, ha, 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 laughing and having fun.
I do think it would have been really cool to see like a town where Halloween is like outlawed. It's like signs everywhere and stuff, and like a curfew in place, like no masks, no costumes, no trick or treating. You can watch scary movies at home, but that's it.
You know what? Yes, and that, I mean that would help this goddamn purpose. But you know what the thing too is? This movie takes place right after the first one. It's not a couple days, not a couple months, right after.
Yeah.
And I feel like that whole momentum is just killed. Maybe maybe that's it too.
You just
Like
said
I
the
said, when I
title
saw
of the movie.
well,
Oh, I have one last question for you.
go for it.
Because this was really like the one of the things that like just rubbed me the wrong way. I did not need to see Michael Myers walk out of the house onto the front lawn with a bunch of cops and for him to just stand there and get arrested. I didn't care. Like, oh, I wonder how did he get captured? I didn't care. And I wanted to just wonder and let my imagination.
Yeah, no, that's like it kills the lure a little bit.
I
It
thought that
takes the
was
whole
fucking lame.
supernatural, man. It takes I guess the tone of the movie is off. It's all over the place.
It
It's
is all over
funny.
the place.
It's funny. It's not funny. It's serious. It's they're mad. Um, he's supernatural at the end. Like you say, he gets arrested. Like it's just all over the place. Off to the next one. Are they? What are they made? What are they redoing next? Are they doing Freddy Krueger?
No one can get that right.
Yeah, no, that they can't.
They just sorted out the rights to Friday the 13th, so maybe we'll get like the 9 billionth Friday
Wait,
the
did they
13th.
sort it out? Oh, because I know their issue. What was this? Wasn't their issue with the guy who wrote the first one versus the guy who wrote the second one?
Yeah, they were just fighting over it, I guess.
Well, because one has a mask and one doesn't, and one says, "Well, I started it," and he goes, "Well, I gave him the mask. That's famous."
Yeah,
So
they're
that's what they're
arguing
fighting over.
about the
But that finally got resolved.
who owns the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in what style? That did get resolved. That is amazing. I would love
Yeah.
to see a Friday 13 movie. See, I loved Friday 13 movies.
Which is funny
Even-
to me because the kills in Friday the 13th aren't very good.
Really? When he fucking oh my god! One of my
You're
favorites is-
remembering just like the top tier best ones, but most of them were just like squish a head, break a neck, you know.
I mean, what is fucking Michael Myers doing?
Oh, but that wasn't the point though. That was never the point, was like wacky kills.
No, Friday 13 is wacky kills.
Yeah, but if you like sit down and rewatch those movies, like you're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna be a little
Really?
disappointed.
Hmm.
There's some of the movies like all the kills are off screen. Like part
What?
like part 4 has a lot of kills that you just don't see. See, you're thinking of like 6, 7, and 8.
I'm also thinking Freddy versus Jason.
Where
Love
he
that
folds
movie.
up the guy in the bed after
Oh, I
stabbing
love
him.
that movie, dude.
That was a good
When
one.
he shoves the thing and the girl's having sex and he shoves a pole in her and it lifts it up and he cuts her right in half. Oh my god, it was so great.
What?
There's a pole where he rips in her in half.
No.
Yes.
What are you thinking of? You're mashing up like more than one kill.
No.
Are you talking about the scene at the rave where she like
No.
passes out in the cornfield?
No. Wait, what movie's that? They're not in a
That's Freddy
cornfield.
versus Jason.
Oh, then I'm thinking of the wrong movie. Jason Goes to Hell.
No, there's no
Jason
good
Goes to
kills
Hell.
in that one.
Jason Goes to Hell. Yes, that's the
No.
one. Yep. It's the mask with the metal mask, right? And there's flames all around it.
Yeah, but
That's it.
when
Dude,
is
that's
that
the one.
kill? There's no good.
That's when they're in a tent and the guy's having sex with her and then he comes from behind, shoves a pole in her, rips it right up, and then she just splits and then you see the guy's face and he's like, oh my god, so good.
Yeah, I mean that's like one of the last movies.
Yeah, no, one of the last ones before they started really just turning them out. I hope they do better, man.
Well, what's the difference? You're gonna watch it anyway, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck yeah. That's what it's all about. That's really
Of course
what
I'm
it's
gonna
all
watch
about
it.
at the end of the
Well,
day. They keep making these fucking slasher movies. They keep making monster movies, Terminator, Alien, fucking Predator movies. I'm going to keep watching them.
But at some point you want to see the good ones. You want to see when they're like, yeah, they did like Evil Dead. Not Evil Dead. What's the one? Yeah, did they do Evil Dead? They remade that, right?
Yeah.
That was good. And
Yeah.
they made it to a whole new level where I was like, oh, okay, they made it a little crazier, and it was good.
Yeah, but keep in mind that a lot of people don't see it that way. They see it the same way that you see this
Really,
Halloween
that
Kills.
that
They're
it
like, this is a piece of
ruined
shit.
it.
It's not
Did
like
they?
that at all. It's so stupid, blah, blah, blah.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, I thought the Evil Dead remake was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. Even the Fright Night remake was good.
It's all a matter of perspective. I haven't seen that. That's
It
what
was
I always
good.
hear.
With what's his name?
Yeah, Irish McGee.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was good for what it was. Because the other guy was almost like him, from the original. So you're like, oh no, it fits perfectly with it.
Yeah. Well, that's a type of movie you can update really easily, right? Because it's like, what is the normal boy next door like, or what is the like charismatic neighbor like? Well, in different times, like that means different things.
Yeah, what's cool now? Okay, make that the kid. All right,
Yeah.
what's old in the suit? To make that
Basically.
the guy.
Basically.
We should make it.
All right.
Sweet.
Thanks for stopping by, man, to talk about Halloween Kills.
Yeah, man. Maybe it'll be better next time.
If you see David Gordon Green in the street, try not to throw a tomato at his head.
Don't look at him. Don't even look at him.
Thanks everybody for listening. This is the Trashy Podcast. And until next time, the dumpster is closed. And then you say goodbye. Or like sing the Halloween song.
No, that's not the song.
No, that's the Twilight song.